All right. All right. Loading. Okay, I think we're good.
So we're actually live.
Yeah, I just started. What's up, people in the chat? How you guys doing today on a Friday night?
Hold on, did I think maybe that's my echo? I think I have the page open. Hold on, let me close
Uh,
it.
that might be me. Say something again.
Okay, yeah, I think we're good to go
Yeah,
now.
that's mine. Let me fix it real quick. Um,
I think so. I think we're good.
okay, I can hear you.
All right.
Again, let me get started on here real quick. So today, uh, I went to tennis practice because we don't go back to school till next week. My coach likes to put on the blame on me, especially he always blames me for everything, even though I don't really do that much. So we have a ball machine, and I guess yesterday when the kids would or the people who were putting up the machine or the one of the carts that we have, he knocked he basically broke the plug for the ball machine, and in doing that, the coach found out the next day, and he basically put the blame on me when I had nothing to do with it. And he does that all the time to me. He always call me out and all this for no reason. And I don't know. It just, that what we have to deal on a day-to-day basis up there. And not only is it the coach, it's just like the whole school itself. They really put on the blame to the guys and all that. Um, that just happened today, and it's just a lot. Like I say, along I I'm I need to tell you guys this. Um, a lot of people get on me about my voice, and that happens at school too. All this, they cannot get on me about my looks because, in my opinion, and I have told this to a bunch of my friends that at my school I'm one of the only good looking guys out there or at my school, and and I'm not gonna lie about it. The only people that could really compete with me would be the seniors from last year, and so on and so on. But since they're gone, like I'm saying, no one ever got on me about my looks. They only got on me about my voice. Cause yeah, it's a little bit funny here and there, but nothing too much. And then, you got anything that you want to talk about today, Angry? I don't want to just ramble on.
Well, no, I mean you bring up an excellent point. It's funny you were talking about the things that are happening in high school and the toxic environment of high school, because prior to this, I was looking at the chat before the podcast started, and they brought up some really interesting points. One of the interesting points that was being talked about in the chat by some of the teenagers was the downright unfairness that's happening in schools right now, the inequality, the bias against boys. One of the questions that someone actually brought up was they asked me if I thought all boys schools would become very popular, and I said that while all boys schools would rise in popularity, I honestly believe that the big popularity is going to come from online schools, because a lot of high schools are now offering classes online. You can do your
Hmm.
entire thing online, or there's online schooling, or you can, or in addition to online schooling, You also have the option. You also have the option for homeschooling, and I believe those are going to be the most common ones that parents are going to opt for. Because a lot of parents are going to say, "Yeah, we could send our kids to an all boys school," but even then, a lot of them are going to say they just don't like the idea of anyone else educating their children directly, and many are going to say either they want their kids being educated in their homes, be it online through online school, or are them doing it themselves. So I think that's where the main thing is going to come from. I said it that Mgtow 3.0 is going to be about financial, social, and economic segregation. Essentially, men going their own way, separating themselves financially, economically, and socially from women. And you're going to see more and more boys doing this. It's going to become a it's going to become a ongoing thing. It's going to become a very normal thing. And I honestly believe that as this happens, you're going to see boys literally choosing these kinds of environments. And it's funny because if boys start leaving these environments and going somewhere else, all the girls are going to say, "Where did all the boys go?" I mean, like, we're already at the point now where women have it all. They've destroyed every institution that men inhibit. And
Yeah.
if as men go, here's the thing: how it works with women, where the men go, the women follow. That's how it works with women. Where the men go, the women follow. People think that men go to where women are. That's incorrect. It's the women who go to where men are. Wherever the boys go, it's the girls who follow the boys. You think I'm joking?
No.
Look at when boys create their own clubs, their own environments. It's the girls who always want to join in. It's the girls who always want to have their own. They want to be a part of this. Why can't we play? All right. Why can't we play soccer? Why can't we be a part of your club? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? It's always, why can't we do that? Do you see what I'm saying? Because women don't
Yes.
create anything for themselves. I mean, look at the He-Man Woman Haters Club. I don't know if you ever watched the Little Rascals, but this is something that went back a couple of generations. Yeah, have you ever heard of the Little Rascals?
No. No, I haven't.
Okay. So the Little Rascals is actually based on a very old series, and they did a remake of it in the '90s. I'm surprised they haven't made another remake of it yet. But you know what? Actually, I'm not, because the Little Rascals, they were a part of what they called the He-Man Woman Haters Club. So that would not fly. That would obviously not fly in today's society. So the He-Man Woman Haters Club, they had a He-Man Woman Haters Club, and basically no women allowed. This was
Mm.
back in the '90s, and by the end of the movie, spoiler for you because you'll probably never see it. It's still called the He-Man Woman Haters Club, but women are now welcome. And it was absolute bullshit. This is when you know that feminism was truly destroying things, when they basically depicted women as being strong and powerful, knocking out boys, and then ultimately marching in and becoming a part, invading the space of the men. I mean, and like now this is supposedly better. It's downright joke. Women don't create anything for themselves. They basically invade male spaces, and then males create new ones, and that's what's going to happen. Men are going to create new spaces for learning. Men are going to create new spaces for entertainment, and men are basically going to socially segregate themselves from women. It's literally going to be a situation where they're going to become enwrapped in the online world and using any means necessary avoid women at all costs. And that's what's going to happen with boys.
And I'd like to point this out as well. And and a lot of women like to say this a lot. They like to say that, and whenever there's been a great man in history, there always been a woman by his side. In most cases, the man could have got farther in his research and his discoveries and anything if he didn't have that woman by his side. And in many cases, women take men ideas and just take it for their own. And it happens in society, and we don't do anything about it. Society don't do anything about it.
Yeah, women are mimickers. That's all they're good at. By the way, dude, keep an eye on the chat. Rice Cracker just gave you $5, and you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
So keep an eye on the chat.
yeah. Thank you, Rice Cracker. Go on, go on.
Dude, you should read his. All right, so when someone gives you does a super chat, It means that you say thank you and you also read their message.
All right. Keep up, you guys. Spread them pills like candy. Yeah, this is my first time with the chat like that. My bad, Vice Cracker. Uh, but thank you for the donation.
There you go. All right, continue what you were saying.
Basically, in every instance, and you can't even go by, even nowadays, uh, women take things from men, anything, and society feels like that okay. They don't want to punish women for doing that. For example, women can take guys' sperm to make a baby, and society can't do anything about it. They don't know if the guy willingly did it or not, but they at the end of the day make the guy pay child support. You know, and
Hmm.
that's how society has raised women to be. You can take all you want and have no repercussions to yourself.
You know, women. You have to remember, women are children. They're children in adult bodies, and it's a. It can be hard to hear that for a lot of them, but it's the absolute to goodness truth. I remember hearing someone explain that. They were looking at this thing where they looked at the laws in old England, and they were like a
Hmm.
set of laws for men, and then there were a set of laws for children, and then there were also a set of laws for women. And those set of laws for women looked a lot like the laws that govern children. Because even back then, they understood how women worked. Women are childish in nature. Women, they get to the age, women stop mentally developing at age 13. Beyond 13, they're done. They do not develop cognitively beyond the age of 13. And that's something that we have to be very honest about. I've worked with some powerful women. I used to work in business, and I would work with, I had to, some of the clients were CEOs, female CEOs of big companies. I mean, I've worked with Microsoft, and these women they loved when you flirt. They loved to flirt. They wanted you to take them on dates. I'm so serious. Like the things I went through at that job, I had women in powerful positions proposition me for sex.
Hmm.
Why am
And
I
then,
telling you this?
and
Because
then,
I want you to
oh,
understand that these women, that's how they behave. It doesn't matter how old they are. I had women old, I had one woman old enough to be my fucking mother telling me to come and see her. She knew
ooh,
where I was. She told me to come and see her.
ooh.
Come and see her. Why the hell would she want me to come and see her? Come and see her. She can kiss my ass. All right?
You want to know what's funny though? One of my friends that just graduated this year, he showed me this email of him talking to his, I guess, stripper hooker, and she was saying that she would have sex with him for $60.
All
And
right.
that, and then I'm just thinking to myself, you can get, if you take a woman out, say to fancy dinner or something like that for $60, all you could get at the most is a kiss. So I'm like, you spent all this money on women and you can't, you know, get that much, but you just, go in it for the sex. You come out with, spending less money and having what you wanted at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just like,
Go ahead.
this what, and I never understood this. Why, I kind of understand it, but to a certain degree, why do men have to pay women to have sex? Why can't it be the other way around?
You said, why do
That's
men? What do you mean? You said, why
yeah,
do men
but
have
yeah,
women?
for example, and what he was showing me is that a lot of women ask for money if you just want it for sex, but guys seem to, or the guys that I know seem to just, they don't want to pay. But if you want it and you don't want to, take this woman out to lunch or dinner or whatever, then you have to pay her money front up. And I kind of, that's to me unfair for guys in a way. Why do
Are
you
you
need
talking about
pay?
prostitution? Are you talking about prostitution?
Somewhat, somewhat.
Okay, let me tell you something interesting. It's something that I learned recently. You know, back in, dude, if you go back almost 20 years, girls, I'll tell you a story. So I'm on spring break, all right? I'm on spring break, and I'm going back to my hotel room. And on my way back to my hotel room, there's a group of blondes just hanging out in the. There's a group of these girls hanging out in the lobby, all right? And they look like cheerleaders. That's why I said blondes. They all look like a group of cheerleaders. Probably were a group of cheerleaders. And so they said, "What's up?" to me. I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" So I walk past them, and then one of them grabs my ass, and they all start screaming and cheering.
Yo, and the funny thing is, what was it? It was happening my sophomore year. Um, I used to ride the bus home. One of the chicks on the bus had a big ass. But if a guy said that to a girl in high school, everyone be after them. Like the things that women can do and to men, they can get away with it. Oh, sorry
Here's
about
the
that.
I
So,
mean, like, even when I was in high school, things were starting to get kind of crazy because I had a girl slap me in high school. But at the same time, like, I used to like grab a girl's ass in high school, and that's not something you would end up going to jail for. Like, this was out like back. High school was, I'm talking about like 20 years ago. High school was like almost 20 years ago for me, and back then, like, you could I'm not saying you could do those kinds of things, and at most you would just get a talking to. You weren't going to typically end up in jail. Nowadays, you give a girl the wrong look and you're going to jail. It's jail, jail, jail for you, mister. So things have changed, but getting back to your original point, women used to chase men. Like, women used to chase men back in those days. Like, this whole thing about men chasing women for sex, or paying for sex. Back in the old days, you go back to the 70s, there are stories. There are stories about women, hitchhiking and having sex for a ride. Women used to have sex freely. I mean, it's funny because the people who are responsible for the whole SJW crap that we have today, those are the fucking hippies of the 70s. My parents are the good for nothings that caused this shit. I'll tell you
mhm.
that right now. My parents are the ones who caused this shit. And I know that there are some boomers who are watching this, and a lot of them are saying, I'm not responsible for it. But there's a lot of truth in it. There were a lot of boomers, especially the older boomers, who caused this shit. They
Mhm.
basically wanted a perfect society. They believed in a utopia. And they basically started, the same people that were pushing for peace and love, man. Look at what modern day liberalism is. It's oppressing everyone.
Mhm.
We live in a fucking police state, and a lot of that's simply because of the crap that happened back in the 60s and 70s.
And I like to point this out real quick. Um, it was kind of funny. This guy, he saw my YouTube thing, and I'm not going to say his name, but he threatened to kill me, basically, because
What?
he basically threatened to kill me because what I have said on my what I said in my videos, and he's saying I'm invoking, or I'm saying to kill women, all this, but you see in my videos I had never said that.
Wait, so he threatened to kill you?
Yeah, he said if once I get doxxed, you're gonna come and find me and kill me. I'm like,
Whoa!
and
Whoa!
he,
What the fuck?
yeah, I was trying to comment on his thing and see what was the problem. He's just saying that he don't agree with my opinion. I'm like, okay, that's fine and well, but why would you come? Why would you try and kill me? Like that's. And I just said that he was white knight. There's no other explanation for it.
It's terrible. I mean, I know you've seen the shit that happens on my channel, but
Yeah.
that they're fucking sending a teenager death threats, like a fucking teenager, like they're like some little bitch is such a knight that he would fucking threaten a teenager, like that guy is a total bitch. That guy's a total pussy. Like seriously, you would threaten a teenager because he said things that you don't like. He said that he says mean things about girls. So when you get when he gets doxxed, you're gonna kill him. Like that guy is a fucking pussy. This just shows how much how sad and pathetic these modern day simps are, how useless they are, how effeminate they are, and how gone they are. They can't. I've said before, they can't be saved. They're a bunch of little bitch boys.
Hmm. And I like to point this out as well. In high school, it might happen in the in dope when you get out of high school into college, but we have the saying called a fuck boy. And people say that people are fuck boys because they mess around with women, but I don't consider that being a wrong thing because he not in a relationship. He just messing around, probably having sex just to enjoy himself. He don't need to be in relationships. But then this name gets passed around like deadbeat dad. You don't hear no one saying a deadbeat mom. What with that? Names, mostly guys get named all this stuff that women don't. And it's kind of funny in the end of the day when you look at all the stuff that happens.
Hmm.
And then, funny thing is, my parents found out about my videos, and you know about this. And then they would basically try and convert me over to, going with women, marrying women. But I'm just sticking to my philosophy of Mgtow, going my own way. And people going to try and I know this. People are trying to convert me when I go to school, when I do anything, and I just don't listen to it. You know.
Hmm.
And then I see, like on my thing with my coach, he hates me completely. The only reason why I go to practice in the first place is A, to get better, and B, I like the sport. And I see a college coach is talking to me and all that about he wanted to give me a scholarship. So that's the only reason why I'm going to practice. I don't like a lot of people don't like our coach that on the team because of the way he treats us. He treats the guy much harder than he treats the girls. It's plain to see, and it's just that when you're going through life, you're going to meet people like this. You can't let them, you know, mess with what you truly believe. You gotta keep pushing forward and enjoy life.
Hmm. It's funny. I like the way Jack B. Hoff puts it in the chat. All women are prostitutes. Married women just tend to have fewer clients, and that's how relationships really work these days. I hear exactly what you're saying about school, and again, a lot of these men are full of shit. A lot of these men, a lot of the guys who act up like your coach, a lot of them are just, I'll be honest with you, they're sexually frustrated and, they're taking it out and acting out in different ways.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I believe so too. And then it's weird. Like most of the teachers I have are female. Then there's some guys that in the classes too, or have their own classes, but they're mostly feminine. You know, it's just that you never really see. I mean, you see probably like one or two manly teachers here and there, but nothing high, like a high number of manly teachers at schools anymore.
Hmm.
And then you just have to find a way to deal with it one step at a time. And what was it? It was yesterday. I was trying to change one of my schedule, and my counselor, she got completely mad at me because I wanted to change it. She had no reason to. It's her job to do that. But like I said, women would get mad at you at any little thing that you say or do. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you something funny. Women are annoying, and they try to control people. They try to control people. They you should one thing you should never do if you have a high school counselor, never have like always choose a man. And women are
Well, we
they
don't
don't really
really. I'm going to say this: we don't have an option in that because they go by last names. So my last name is in her, books, and plus we have three other women counselors and then one man counselor. So there's really nothing here and there that you can really do.
Mhm.
But go
Yeah.
on.
No, I understand entirely. I understand exactly what you're saying, and you know, it's you just have to kind of, yeah, I hate to say rough it through, but you kind of just have to rough through it for the time being until you can get out and move on to something better.
Yeah, and I want to ask you this. This is kind of funny. What I noticed. Why I wanted to ask you, why do women wear like a lot of women wear wigs or hair extensions? It was funny because last year I saw a fight between two girls. They were freshmen. One of the
Mhm.
girls was pulling out the other girl's weave, and then you would see like at the end of the fight there were like six pieces of weave on the floor. I just need to ask you, like, why do women buy all these hair extensions and all this? You don't really see men doing that.
Because they're fake, dude. I mean, I like the way that I like the way that what's his name? I like the way that Mgtow's freedom puts it. He says, "From the moment you're born to the moment your balls drop." He says, "From the moment your balls drop to the moment you die, as a man, you look good," and it's true.
Hmm.
It's honestly true. When it comes to women, women wear fake up because they look like shit very quickly. I mean, but after a woman hits her 20s, it's downhill from there. I mean, a lot of women they burn themselves out by the time they're 25. By the time they're 28, they look like shit. They look like shit. No guy would ever want to touch them. I mean, the only guy that's going to touch them is just going to be for sex, not for marriage, not even for a long-term relationship. And they wear fake up to hide just how hideous they really look. I mean, they are so burnt out. They are so burnt out typically that it's just like no one even wants to look at them.
Hmm.
That's why they wear fake up.
Yeah, and that it weird. Women want everything to be equal, but I like to point this out a lot. What about makeup? Makeup, you don't really see any guys doing commercial for makeup, but you see women doing commercial for everything basically. Everything that a man has, the woman in the commercial. But I never seen a man do a makeup commercial. That to me it's kind of funny on its own.
Well, there's this, like last year, they announced that there was like a new cover boy. So this
Mm.
gay boy basically became the very first cover girl. So, I mean, but it's not typical, but I mean, if they could push for it, they damn well would. I'll
Mm.
basically put it out there like that. As if they could push for it, they damn well would.
And then I wanted to ask you this another question real quick. Do you believe that all like more single mothers cause men to become gay or transgender? I see a trend with that really, and you know, people, females seem to cause more of that in itself. I want to get your idea on it.
What?
I was saying like, what I've been seeing is like a lot of single mothers cause men to turn either gay or transgender. I want to get your opinion on it.
Single mothers cause men to turn gay or transgendered. I mean, I'm
More
not
the
disagreeing that.
more
Go ahead.
more. I was going to say more than either more than man. I don't know how to word it. More single mother cause these things to happen to men than saying a father in the relationship or anything like that.
Okay,
You
so
go on.
I mean, single mothers are terrible. And without a proper man around to teach, to guide young people, it's very easy for them to go astray, to lose their way. I mean, you know, again, single mothers that they mess up the minds of their children. They mess up the minds of boys, and boys end up completely lost in society, questioning their own role in society, their masculinity, and ultimately even their sexuality.
Yeah. I mean, but you have to expect that with being raised by a single mother. And even it's worse when the single mothers had daughters too, because that itself, it just, you know, transformed the guy to becoming more feminine.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to, like, another point that I wanted to get on is one of the females I know, and I don't mess with a lot of females. This is the only one I really talked to. Um, she, she had, she, she's, I don't know how to put it. She's got into a bad breakup last year with this guy,
Mhm.
and you know, it was kind of funny to see because before this whole thing went down, she said that she wanted to live her life out with this guy, and just putting that into my thinking, I could not do that. I could not, marry someone like that. And it didn't work out, and that what I see in law in high school relationships. When I stopped getting relationships, I've seen a lot of relationships break down. And that what happens in high school, and people don't realize that. People think that they're going to end up with the person that they meet in high school, and that most likely not going to happen.
Mhm. It's
But
funny
we,
because in the
but
old days it
oh,
used to
go
happen like that. These
go.
days it does not happen anymore.
Mm. Wanna know why? It because I don't I say this a lot. The problem is the internet, like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. That's the huge problem. People take it to a extreme, and you know, I don't even get on them anymore because what they have done. There's no point getting on them, you know,
Mhm.
because a you could either make a fake person, catfish and all that. B, the person doesn't look what they look like in the pictures, and C, you know, C is I don't like to text that much. Honestly, I like to talk in person, face to face. That's why I really stopped using all those Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat things.
Mhm.
And when you know, I don't know if this only happens in high school, but you really start to notice things. You really start to see what type of society that we're really living in when you stop using those technologies. You see that a lot of people are consumed with it, and that's the problem. Women take advantage of this, catfishing guys and all this. I don't know if you've seen the show Catfish. Uh, I don't know if it's still on, but you know, they will always show in most of the episodes it would show a guy being catfish, and that's the type of society that we really live in. You can't ignore it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm done with that point. You can go on.
Actually, so I think we covered a lot of ground today. I'd like to definitely jump on another one of these podcasts. I wanted to keep it a little bit short today, if
I,
that's if you're all right with that.
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I would love to have you back on here whenever you're free. But yeah, you guys, that's going to be the podcast today. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy it. Um, hopefully I can get angry in one of these again. hopefully coming up. And you think you'd be good for another one this month?
I will do my best. Just
All right.
email me.
All right. But yeah, you guys, that's gonna be a podcast. Catch you guys later. Bye.